Here's the ugly truth. The cost of living crisis never ended. It just went quiet. Prices stayed high, wages barely moved, and taxes crept up in silence. Most people are bleeding cash without even realizing it. But if you know how to play this system right now, you can still win. Here's the 2025 playbook that actually works. If you feel like your money isn't going as far as it used to, you're not imagining it. Inflation may have slightly cooled, but prices haven't really dropped. And in August 2025, CPI inflation sat at around 3.8%. Private rents were up about 5.9% year over year. And the average renter in England now spends over 36% of their income just keeping a roof over their head. Real pay is barely edging ahead of inflation, and the bank rate, still restrictive, means borrowing hurts while mortgages and loans stay high. That's the board we're playing on. Now let's talk about how to win the game. And remember, none of this is financial advice. Please do your own research. You can't steer Westminster or the Bank of England, but you can control your buffer, costs, and upside. Try to build a buffer. Aim for 3 to 6 months of essential outgoings in easy access savings. If that sounds huge, start with £50 a month or whatever you can afford. It's the momentum that matters. Kill expensive debt first, because the average UK credit card APRs are now around the mid 30%. Every pound you carry compounds against you. Grab every free pound, because employer pension matches and tax relief are free returns that most people ignore. We'll get into that next. Workplace pensions need to be thought about as free money. Auto-enrollment minimums equal 8% total, with your employer paying at least 3%. If they'll match higher, raise your contribution, because this is pretty much an instant guaranteed way of growth. Plus, HMRC adds 20% tax relief automatically for basic rate taxpayers, and higher rate earners can reclaim more if they do a self-assessment. The next point is ISAs and LISAs shield your growth. You need to remember that the ISA limit currently for this tax year is £20,000. Use your cash ISA for the near-term goals and stocks and shares ISAs for growth. If you're 18 to 39 and saving for a home, open a lifetime ISA and contribute up to £4,000 a year, because you can get a 25% bonus. But make sure to stay under the £450,000 property cap and avoid the 25% withdrawal penalty for non-home use. Next is beating fiscal drag. Now, a lot of people will know this as frozen thresholds that are relating to your tax bands. And these pull millions into higher tax bands each year that they're frozen. If you can afford it, this is a highly effective way to do so. Salary sacrifice, extra pension contributions, or transfer ISAs to keep more of your money legally sheltered. And remember, currently the dividend allowance is £500 and the capital gains tax allowance is £3,000, and both of them have been slashed by successive governments. Rents are now up about 5.9%, and average burden is about 36% of income. If you're renting, that buffer we talked about becomes survival gear. If you're saving, keep deposits in a high interest cash ISA, because that allows tax-free interest. Utilize LISAs for the bonus and start the 12-month clock. Track regional affordability, because you need to remember that London's the outlier, not the standard, and prices can really differ between different regions and counties across the country. Now, here's a really important one about debt priority, because it makes sense to write down all debts and their APR. That way, you can make sure that you're paying at least the minimums on everything and then attack the highest rate first. This is also known as the avalanche method. Many cards are running between 30 to 35% APR at the moment, so a £1,000 balance costs hundreds a year. A 0% balance transfer card with a plan and a fee cap is one of the best ways to consolidate debt and can provide you with a pathway to a debt-free future. Just make sure you track it and set a payoff date. Now, here's some really important ones. Building resilience and trying to maximize getting extra income other than your day job. There's two lifelines within this. And if you're able to build skills and optionality, then that will set you apart from others. Currently, there's a digital skills gap. Over half the UK workforce lacks basic work-level digital skills. This is a huge opportunity. Pick one stack: data, AI tools, cyber, or marketing automation, and build a portfolio of proof. This, in the age of the AI bubble, will definitely set you apart. And remember, there's a trading allowance, which means you can earn £1,000 tax-free from casual self-employment. This is your opportunity to test ideas and then register only when you scale. One of the other things is cutting the silent drains. And what I mean by this is UK adults average over 4 hours online daily. That's time that could be used to build skills or income. Gambling is also a big problem because 2.7% of adults meet the problem gambling criteria, mostly men under 40. It's a great idea to add blocks, not temptations, as this can be a massive drain to so many. And health is another one that's really important that a lot of people do forget about, because around 67% of men in England are considered overweight or obese. Fix sleep, steps, and your diet first, because cheap wins come with big returns on energy and focus, which will allow you to have more time to focus on what you enjoy and help you build a pathway forward to earning extra income or gaining new skills. Now, here's where things get interesting, because if you implement a 90-day money plan, this is a real game changer in how you think about your future and financial well-being. Now, I'll break it down into the different weeks, and we'll start with weeks 1 to 2. The first part of it will be to build a 1-month buffer, ideally in a cash ISA. List debts by APR and set payoff dates. Check your pension contribution, because there could be an opportunity that you're not getting the most out of your pension. And if your employer matches higher contributions, this will supercharge your pension earlier. The next is weeks 3 to 6. Open up or top up your ISAs to use the allowance. Cancel 2 subscriptions that you don't use or provide value and redirect that cash to debt or savings. And try to invest around 5 hours a week in a monetizable skill. That's an hour a day across the normal 5-day working week. And then weeks 7 to 12, extend your buffer to 2 to 3 months to give you a bit more of a safety net. Use the 1,000 trading allowance to test a side hustle. Research and shop around for better deals on insurance, mobile and utilities, because this will ensure that you're getting the best prices, and then any cash that you save can be put towards debt or further saving. And if you're nearing the next tax band, test out more salary sacrifice into your pension before the end of the tax year. This is another way to supercharge your pension for the future if you can afford it. The money game is tough, but it's not unwinnable. You can't lower inflation or taxes, but you can own your habits, your skills, and your strategy. Taking the boring wins the system actually rewards: tax relief, employer match, ISA sheltering, and skill compounding while you still can, because this could be subject to change in the upcoming budget or future ones. Keep it steady for 90 days. You'll feel it in your bank balance and your headspace. The crisis didn't end, it just got quiet. But that doesn't mean you have to stay broke. If you found this video helpful, then I would love it if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it really helps me out. I'll be covering more of these types of topics in the future, because I think financial well-being is so important in the world we are currently living in. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.